it's been a while since we looked at the first Apothecary Diaries, and yeah, I mean, I don't know why, it's a good series. So, of course, we have Mau Mau here, we have Blue Flower, which is a big central point in the book. Is the Emperor at some point wants roses outside of season. So that's a huge, like, not huge, but it's one of the main stories. So, this is the second book in the series, written by Natsu Hyuga and drawn by Toko Shino. So this is of course the light novel version. There are still some artwork in it, representing some of the pages. But it is a book. Now, this is from 2021, 22? 2015. This is older than I thought. Alright. So, as with the first book, this book is kinda taking a lot of small series and like stories and working with them and kind of creating a greater narrative. In this case, it's a little bit of who her father is as a person and how he thinks and works, and like how the backstory of Mau Mau. That's kind of it's not really a mystery, but still a kind of a mystery, because we're not explicitly told things from the start, even though the characters knows more than we do already. So there are multiple small stories, and I don't know, I'm not gonna go through every single one of them, but there are some good ones. I really like the one about the rose. I think that was really interesting. So the entire premise of that one was there's this garden party thing, and the Emperor would really like some color. I think there are blue roses, which of course does not exist. So Gaoshun goes to Mau Mau and be like, help me please. And of course, Mau Mau, being who she is, it's like, don't worry, I have a plan. It's all good. I got you, bro. Maybe. Now stop being annoying. And so this entire thing is her working out like how you grow them inside, and how by dyeing the water you color the flowers and tricking the flowers to bloom early by temperature and humidity control. Basically just creating a greenhouse. And you know, it's what we do in modern times, and it's also how you in our world gets blue roses and stuff to buy. That is because you can dye the water so you can get any kind of color, especially if the rose originally were white. And I think it's a great story just because it was really sweet to see how she worked on it. It also gave us a bunch of character development for Lacan, basically her dad, her actual dad, about who he is and how he sees the world and why he is who he is. And it's apparently because he doesn't see people, he sees chess pieces or similar. Like he sees, I guess you can call it potential. It doesn't care about people. And so one of the princesses of the of where Mau Mau grew up, I don't remember her name, is sick with, is it syphilis or something like that, but she was the one who could challenge him the most. And we get kind of the entire backstory and how he learned to love her, and not in a sexual way, but purely in a, oh, she's so fucking smart, I love that she can challenge me in games. And then of course she has her apprentice, who is a young girl who's learning and isn't quite as good as her, but is still better than most others, and he does acknowledge it, even though it's not a particularly big deal for her. He of course gets the chance to then buy one of the girls out, and Mau Mau's gambling on him buying the apprentice because she's younger, she is really smart and really good at it, but he ends up buying the sick woman whose brain has turned her into a child. And it's really sad but really sweet that he cares so much about her because of the memory of her, that he's willing to take, like, I guess, the burden of her on by himself. another big piece of this book is multiple stories of feeding into this religious thing. Like there was the thing with the metal that's melting easily, and I don't remember the others, but there's a couple of them, and it's all unrelated stuff, and yet very much related. And so Mao Mao is trying to figure out why are they related, and then she realizes, wait, a metal on a beam that is weak, no one's gonna notice what happened. And of course no one does notice, so she managed to, in the last second, to save Gaoshun, and she gets her leg broken in. And in general, this book, and it goes without saying because the first book was equal to, it's sweet, it's cute, but it's very, very funny. The characters are a bit over the top, but in the nice kind of way, in the way you really enjoy it. They are a bit like Mao Mao is a caricature of an apothecary. Gaoshun is kind of a bit of a character too. Like they're not. They are a bit in the one note end, but there are depth to them. We do see some depth. We do see Mao Mao cares about people. We do see Gaoshun sometimes slips away from being this high and mighty character, and we also learn a little about his past, that he is definitely not just a eunuch. We kinda knew already. Well, we didn't even kinda. We knew already, but we didn't know how close to the Emperor he was, and he's very, very close to the Emperor. So that's awesome, and I can't wait to learn more. And it would be so fun to see Mao Mao's reaction when she learns who he is, and also when we learn it. That would also be great. I also really want to learn who he is. But yeah, that's. I don't really have much to say because it is just. I guess you could say it's a bunch of novellas that you're just going through reading, that is just creating character depth and telling a overarching story of a woman trying to find her way in the palace in a world dominated by men, where and like not even just by men, but where how you're born is what matters more than anything. And she's trying to disprove it by just being so good, but still stuck in the system. It's a really, when you look at it like that, it's a really interesting read. And we also learned that one of the things she cares a lot about is like finding immortality, finding a way to extend life, because it seems like she might not be afraid of death, but she does not want death to come, because at one point another apothecary doctor person says, oh, I'm about to go find ingredients for an elixir of life. And even though Mao Mao knows it's not actually what's happening, she can't help but think, wouldn't it? Like, what if? Even though we all know it's not. And Mao Mao knows it. The woman even told Mao Mao, hey, this is a lie. So we do learn a lot that Mao Mao is probably somewhat afraid of death. And, you know, thinking about it, that's pretty wild. But again, she also grew up in the pleasure district, where life is, it's dangerous. Especially as a woman. That is why she dresses up the way she does, with the fake freckles and all. She tries to go as far away from the traditional sexy woman so that she's safe. It's, I don't know. The story is cute, it's funny, but it's also very interesting. And also, I just got to this one. It is one of my, not this one, that Lacan. I don't care too much on, but this, when they try to make Gaoshun a woman, so that he can hide in the pleasure district, and they all just like, or not make him ugly, and they start putting makeup on him, and all of them realize that if people were to see him with makeup and actually him trying to look beautiful, the world would go under. So they silently vow, all three of them, like Mao Mao, the lady who takes care of Gaoshun, I don't like Mao Mao's boss basically, and then of course Jinshi, who is the follower of Gaoshun. They all just agree, yeah, he should never try. I don't know, I think it's funny. So yeah, I don't really have much more to say. It is, when I record this, a while since I read it, because I've been busy. So what did you think of it? Did you find it interesting? Did you find it funny? Did you think a bit deeper than I did? Did you even think as deep as I did? What was your favorite sub-story? And next up we're gonna be looking at some more Ranger's Apprentice, the second one in the Royal Rangers series. So leave a like, comment and subscribe for more.